So there was a lot of chatter online this weekend. I noticed it about this movie, The Woman King.
Yes.
Now we spoke about this when it was like kind of like announced, like the preview just started coming out. But now, I guess people were seeing it. People are understanding what the like the I guess the overview of what it's about, who it's about. A lot of people had things to say,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So the movie The Woman King is based on the Dehomey Tribe, and they had a significant role in the slave trade,
Yes.
right? And people are saying this movie should not be celebrated. We should boycott it because of their role in the slave trade. Other people were saying, well, you need to see it first to, give a criticism. This is about strong women and, do your research and, everybody had slaves. I'm seeing that a lot. I always find it very funny the lengths we will go to justify somebody we like. We like
Yes.
Viola Davis. She's in the movie. She's a star of the movie. So people
Yes.
are making every excuse possible
Yes.
for Viola Davis. You had a lot to say, which I was shocked about because he tells me all the time, Malcolm, chill, stop arguing with people, stop stirring stuff up, stuff like that. But I see him in the middle of everybody, cursing out everybody. I'm
I
like,
was
what's
I
up?
was throwing darts.
I was like, what's good?
I wasn't throwing too many darts. First of all, we're in Mercury retrograde, so you can make a statement. It's going to be misconstrued.
You
Why would
meant
they bring out this movie during this time? Okay, go ahead.
you meant for this to get like to ruffle some
Well,
feathers.
I be sitting up
Yeah,
at night sometime going, you know
on
what?
TikTok,
I'm
on
like, you know what?
TikTok.
If I drop this in there now, it's about 4:30 in the morning. By the time people wake up and see this shit. No, what I said was, Denzel Washington starring in The Man Queen coming soon. How crazy does that sound?
Yeah.
And it was not a boycott of the movie itself. I'm not boycotting the movie. And I'm telling you to go see the movie. I'm done with slave movies. That's just me personally. Ain't got nothing to do with Viola Davis. I love Viola Davis. I am personally, I don't care what kind of spin or remix you put on the slave movie. I'm tired of the slave narrative. Now, this movie may be unique in the sense it's going to the source of, a lot of the slave trade. Because even after other places like Spain and them stopped doing slavery, the homie, they kept that thing moving with Portuguese and a whole bunch of other people. They killed a lot of people. It's really a brutal story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we want to get down to it. But we have a tendency, like you said, to bypass all of that because the emotional connection. And that's why I keep telling people don't allow your emotions to get involved because emotionally you tie in this like this shit happened just now. We like Viola Davis, but what does that have to do with the historical perspectives of the story? Right? And they added a little something to the story, and it's directed by a white woman, it's produced by a white, the whole team with a whole bunch of white women who decided that this story was necessary. So I don't have any problem with that for people to go see it for themselves. If you want to get into the artistic expression of the movie and watch this sister who is brave and strong fight, imperialism or whatever it is she's fighting. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not seeing any more slave movies. I didn't go see Harriet Tubman. I didn't go. No, I'm just done with that specific narrative. But I also said, you know what I'm saying? It's funny how black women in particular are quick to scream, this ain't Africa, when we mention traditions of having many wives and things of that nature. But you telling me I need to do my goddamn research when it comes to the man or the woman kings. And this and I'm like, yo, which one is it? Uchiwali or one mic? You can't have it both ways. Because we can all sit here and delve into some African traditions that benefit us, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature to make our point. And that really set off a shitstorm.
I was
And
shocked. I was
and
shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, I'm gonna let him have that.
yeah, but think about it. You know, if you really just look at it, because whenever we mention, back in the days, this ain't back in the days, Nick. You here in America, you could barely take care of me. Okay. I even had one sister tell me, well, them sisters from don't have me screw the name up. It's a certain tribe, and they cut off one of their titties so they can keep the rifle in place, and the other titty was to feed the baby. And these are strong black women.
I never heard that one.
No,
Wow.
no. I was like, okay, I'm not saying all. And here's the gist of what I'm saying. I understand there probably were, women kings. First of all, king is not, that's an English word. So we know that's a word that came in and was imposed upon us. That's not the language we use, right? But in a world today where everyone takes everything so literal, and you have people who don't research, and people who don't study, and who are YouTube scholars, and TikTok PhD graduates, and things of that nature, when you make a statement like that, it's taken literally, and people don't pierce beyond the veil to go, I get it. This was so. What I did was I just mirrored that perspective and said, how does that sound if I said man queen?
Yeah.
How would you feel about that? So you can get an understanding that this is a surface gauge generation. And for the few who do study and can get and do delve, you don't need this movie anyway, because you've probably already read the story. So they're putting out movies with double and triple entendres. This is Hollywood, so you're dealing with wordplay, symbology. They're targeting your subconscious mind, and all we see is woman king, strong, biceps, cutting people's heads off. You know what I'm saying? As if that's the natural position of our women, and we feel our women should be soft. You know what I'm saying? They should be feminine and be protected, unless the warrior in a woman, because they could have called it Queen Warrior. You know what I'm saying? And I would have said, okay, this is a Queen Warrior movie about sisters who had to step up in the absence of certain men. But the wordplay is very critical in this society that does no research and no study. So while you going, I get it, because you are one who are of the learned. 85% to 90% of the population are unlearned knuckle draggers who don't care. So they receive a different message in a world which we already have men and women fighting each other over stupid shit.
Yeah.
So that was the premise of my post, and my after post was to just spark conversation so that we can get past certain things. But I'm not boycotting the movie. I'm not against it. You go do what you have to do.
I thought it was very telling of Hollywood, like it always is, that these stories of these type of tribes will, because I get told and get like put on movies, because you would never hear about Jewish people who ratted out their the other Jewish people
right
to the Nazis and stuff.
You
like
will
that.
never see that, and you will
and make it look and make it look powerful. You know what I mean?
Let me drop a bomb on that. That was profound. You will never see the Jewish people who decided to rat out for their own safety, and you said make it look cinematic
and strong,
like we had to go against our own people. You would never see that. But yet when it comes to us, you put somebody that you like in that character, and now we have a situation where you going into the movie and leaving it emotionally, you know what I'm saying, and this and that, and charged, and you bypass all of the actual principles of what message is being conveyed.
So apparently, Lupita, she was attached to this movie at one point, and then she backed out. Now people are saying that she backed out as a result of learning, more about the tribe and learning about like what happened, and she kind of distanced herself from it. And here's the thing: when I first saw the trailer for it, at first I was like, because this is around when the Black Panther 2 trailer was coming out. So what the hell is this? And then I felt like they were trying to kind of leech off of the want for Black Panther 2.
Yes, fill that void.
Yeah.
And yes.
In my opinion.
Okay. Also, I want to shout out my man Adika Butler.
Yes.
Who has his book called Dehomey from Dehomey.
Yeah.
In which he's going to give, because we're going to interview him, he's going to give us a perspective that I'm pretty sure will be super duper enlightening regarding that situation. Because even from a historical perspective, You get on the land of the people, and they may tell you something totally different. You know what I mean? So it's important to understand who's telling our history. The minute I see them three white ladies there,
Yeah,
I
well,
go,
because
ah,
is she white?
huh?
She looks like a few generations. I don't know. I don't know.
The director?
Yeah, the only picture I've seen, it looks like
I saw three white
okay.
ladies. I saw three in terms of the producer, the director.
No, apparently she's adopted, so you know.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm just simply saying optics
No.
and and and
100%
and
agree.
and and and, and, and glorifying
100% agree.
us selling our people out, and for our sisters and some brothers to go, well, slavery was everywhere. No, indentured servitude was everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
Yeah.
ball game because these people were able to keep their families together, and you could work your way out of slavery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you paid your debt to society, whatever that was, it wasn't until the Europeans showed up that they turned that into something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And which is the chattel slavery and the torture and debauchery that went with that. So we're talking two different things.
Somebody said she is mixed. Okay, I'm
Right,
not bugging.
so don't throw a blanket statement out there and say, well, slavery was everywhere to try to soften the blow of what was done in the sacrifices and killing and chopping off heads of our own people, and the second largest, according to the historical points, a trader of slaves. And now it makes us turn on ourselves because another thing, for the unlearned, you know what they think? They think white people just went to Africa, gathered up a whole bunch of people, and left, and kept showing up and not realizing they had a plug. Right? They had a plug on the other end, and they were fed guns and all of this stuff to give them the power over the other tribes so that they could dominate that area so they can get the free labor they need. Let's call it for what it is.
And it's not lost on me. It's not lost on me. Right? So the woman king, and what was the number one criticism of the Black Panther movie? The trailer, the Black Panther 2.
A whole bunch of
a lot of women.
A lot of women.
Right?
Right.
So anytime these things happen, right? So it causes the battle of the sexes and black men versus black women, of course. Then it causes friction within those groups, like you said, the learned, the unlearned, people who understand, the people who don't,
right?
People who just want to pick a fight.
That's where the real battle is: the learned and the unlearned.
But no, because what's happening is, and I'm like, every time something new happens on the internet, I was thinking like I thought I would never see that, but you are now. So now you're seeing people defend slavery. You're seeing people make it seem like slavery was just
wasn't that bad.
Slavery was what it was. And Bill Maher was on his show, white dude who called himself a house nigga, and then now had his whole monologue about slavery. And I guarantee nothing happens to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
And like I said, I feel like these we talked about fan baiting, right? We talked about how like movies and things like that, they're created specifically to get people mad, to get enough publicity, to get people to go see it, just to get that first push, right? So this movie, the first trailer came out like months ago, but now all of a sudden people are mad because it kind of just caught up with the algorithm, caught up with the timeline, and now people are upset. So then the people are upset are labeled misogynistic and labeled certain things. So now those people, you're not gonna be calling me misogynistic, and then you start arguing. It's a back and forth,
and it's working.
A cycle that never ends.
It's working brilliantly. Okay, now when you look at a woman that looks like that, if you are not of a higher vibration to understand, just those, that looks like a goddamn man. Or somebody taking on the role. I don't want that in my life. just gonna keep it a being, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not narrow-minded to say that I don't understand the consequences which may have brought about that situation for that time, because I'm a thinker and I like to analyze and go through the process. Most of these people have their thinking done for them, and an image is worth 1,000 words. And if 1,000 words, if you'd only got 30 words in your vocabulary, you couldn't even possibly process an image of this magnitude that says woman over a king. Because you see the line. Let's get into it, right? So you got the woman, but it's a line over it, which means it ain't woman king. it's women over king. Quiet is kept. You know, so those are some of the subtleties of it, but you got to be able to think your way through that.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a
Hey, what's
job.
up? If you like what you just saw and you want to see the full, uncut, raw, uncensored podcast, hit the link below. It's only $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. Get all of the content, get Black Dot in his rawest form, get a bunch of exclusive content never
Yes.
before seen by anybody else, and you can only be a member to see it.
Become a member now. Click the link below. Peace.